everyone, welcome back to D's Nerds. I'm Michelle, and today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Alright, so I just actually showed this book in a recent book haul that I did, and I told you that I would give you a more in-depth review on it, so here it is. So this is going to be pretty short and sweet, but I just want to let you know more about the book and more of what I liked about it. We've got Olive is here on the front, and then this is Adam Carlson. And they are both scientists. So I really liked one thing about this book, which was that the characters were all super intelligent, either doctors or working toward doctorates to, be professional scientists and work towards, creating cures for things and such. And I just thought that was cool, and I felt like the things that she talked about science-wise felt really solid and well researched, which makes sense because Ali Hazelwood herself, if I remember correctly, is also a scientist. That aspect was really cool. So the basic premise of this revolves around the fake dating trope. So essentially what happens is Olive's best friend, An, has fallen for the guy that she was recently just dating herself, but was no longer dating. So An feels like she can't date him. And so Olive, in an effort to try to make An feel more comfortable with the situation, kisses the first guy that she runs into one night, knowing that An is right behind her and will definitely catch them. And that happens to be Adam Carlson, who is her superior, technically, in the department, although she doesn't work directly under him. But he's also known to be this massive jerk. And so she doesn't even pay attention exactly to who she's with, but she just kisses him. From that, he basically, once she tells him why she did what she did, he's like, okay, well, I'll fake date you. That's fine. Because he also has a reason that he needs to have someone to fake date, which is completely not romantically related at all. But the college that they work at is essentially holding his funding, concerned that he's going to jump ship and leave and go somewhere else. And so he's trying to prove to the college people that he's going to stick around. And so Olive is supposed to help him do that by playing his girlfriend so that it seems like he's not going to leave his girlfriend behind. As characters, I loved both of them. They were surprisingly not annoying. I feel like in some romantic comedy situations, one or both of the main characters can just be downright irritating. They're too much. I didn't feel that way about either of them. Now, this whole thing is told in third-person point of view. It's third person, we're kind of following both characters a little bit. We're not getting particular insight into everybody's heads, but just kind of following the two of them. I will say, the way that she described him, and not that it necessarily shows on the cover of the book here, although that's not a bad representation of him, but for some reason, everything she said about him just made me think of Adam Driver. And so that's kind of who I had in my head when I was reading this a lot of the time. Now, I don't know that ultimately that picture works for me, as far as how I am truly imagine him, but for some reason, in my mind, trying to create a picture as I go, that was the easiest thing, I guess, for it to access, and so that's who I saw. But yeah, a lot of really cute mishaps and understandings, and it's just a sweet book. The ending did not go as I expected. There was a lot of things that happened in about the last, I would say 40 pages of this book that was whoa, okay, that came out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, but it was just a lot all at once, and you're like, okay, is this gonna get resolved or isn't it? But it does. Really recommend this book if you enjoy romantic comedies. If you're someone who's maybe trying to branch into the genre, as I would say that I probably am, I think it's, especially if you're someone who would consider yourself maybe a little bit nerdy in kind of an academic nerdy kind of way, I think this is more accessible just because they are in an academic setting. They work at a college, they're scientists, they're researchers, they're talking about those things, and that's kind of just the environment in which all of these characters exist. And so I think that made it a tad more accessible for me, trying to sort of float out of my science fiction and fantasy land into realistic fiction. Lots of really cute moments in this. I would say on the spice-o-meter, if we're giving it a 0 to 10, I would say this is maybe a 3 or 4. I'd say the spicy stuff is pretty minimal. I mean, you do get your moment in there, but it's definitely not the point of the book, I guess. It's just kind of an incidental thing that eventually happens, as you would expect in a relationship that's fake. But of course, I mean, you all know it's not going to end up being fake, right? I mean, that's the trope. It's a fake relationship, but then it ends up not being fake because then they have feelings and all the things happen. And so, I mean, I think that's what I'm liking about these books right now, is that they're comforting, and that I know that at the end we're going to be good. Everything's going to be fine. It may not turn out exactly how I thought it was going to turn out, but I think it's going to be fine. So there's something satisfying about that, sort of knowing an end game, whereas like some of the science fiction and fantasy stuff I read, man, like especially if it's a series, who knows where I'm going to be left at the end of a book. And even if it's the last book or if it's the only book, like who knows who dies, who gets lost, what happens to people, and you just don't get that with this genre so much. So that was kind of satisfying. This is also my first bout into Book of the Month Club. I will let you know how that goes. I am still uncertain, but this is the first book I got, and then the second month, I didn't want any of the books, so I saved my credit for next month, and hopefully there'll be some more stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing my foray into romantic comedy. But yes, two very endearing characters. I especially really loved our male hero, Adam Carlson. I just thought he was really sweet and kind of misunderstood. I'd say if I was giving this like a star ranking, I'd say like 9 out of 10. I don't know. It's a really good book. I enjoyed it a lot. I read it literally in one day. I had finished it within the span of like a few hours, and it wasn't even like I was sitting the entire time reading. So it was a quick read. If that's the kind of your jam, is just getting something that goes quickly, this is definitely going to be your thing. All right, so that wraps up this book review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to like this video and subscribe to see more of them, and then ring the bell and the icon for notifications whenever I post a new one. I will be posting most of my reviews probably on Saturdays when they come out. And with that, I hope you all have a great, safe rest of the day. Bye, everybody.